first letter is small. First letter is small. Alright. So this is first rule. Means first letter of genus is capital and species is. If we talk about second rule, so that is we have to underline this genus and species name separately. In books you can see these names are not underlined. So why there is need of underlining? In books that are written in italics, this binomial nomenclature is basically in Latin, alright, but Latin language, but is written in italics. Alright, so whenever we write the name on a notebook or board, so we have to underline the words. Alright students, so this is the second rule. If we talk about other rule for genus and species, so that is the genus may be same. The species may be different, and sometimes the genus may be same. For example, if we are giving example, Panthera leo. This is for lion. If we talk about Panthera tigris, this is for tiger. So this genus is common here, but the species is different. So we will discuss in detail what is genus, what is species. So if we talk about species, so whatever the organism, you can say group of individuals or population of individuals that have common morphological and specific morphological and structure similarities, and they also undergo breeding. Alright. So first of all we are going to discuss.
Chalo.
Now if we talk about what is genus, what is species, so this species is group of individuals that have common structure and morphological similarities. Alright students. So, and they can interbreed among themselves. One question here for NEET is, sometimes the question is asked, what do you mean by term biological species? Alright. So don't confuse this species and biological species. These are specifically reproductively isolated species. Reproductively isolated species. Alright. And this concept is given by Ernest Mayr. Very, very important for NEET. Alright. So, if species is group of individuals that have common structure and morphological similarities that can interbreed among themselves. So, what is genus? So, this is of species. Alright. If we talk about group of species, so that will include under genus. Like we have done the example of Panthera leo and Panthera tigris, that both have common genus but species is different. Alright students, so now we are coming to examples of binomial nomenclature. So now we are coming to examples of binomial nomenclature. We have done mango. Do you remember? We have done in last lecture. That is Mangifera indica. Alright. Today we have done human. That is Homo sapiens. That if we talk about housefly, this is Musca domestica. If we talk about wheat, so this is Triticum. Yes, Triticum aestivum. If we talk about rice, what is its scientific name? Oryza sativa or Oryza sativum. If we talk about frog, so that is Rana tigrina. Alright, I am giving you one more example. If we talk about cockroach, so that is Periplaneta americana. If we talk about Indian bee, honeybee, that is Apis indica. If we talk about Italian bee, that is Apis mellifera. See student, this is again a question for NEET, very important. See, here the genus is same and the species are different. So these are different species, Indica and mellifera. This is Indian bee, this is Italian bee. Both comes under a common genus, that is Apis. So what is the importance of this Italian bee? Actually, you all know that honey bee is used for commercial production of honey as well as bee wax. So this Apis mellifera, it is very good, you can say, in yield of honey. So that is used for commercial production of honey. As compared to Indian bee, this Italian bee have more yielding power. So after doing rules, examples or binomial nomenclature, you can do many more examples of you can say this binomial nomenclature, like potato, that is Solanum tuberosum. Alright, so you can do different examples of this binomial nomenclature. So yesterday in our last lecture we have also discussed about taxonomy. So we will do little detail of taxonomy, who gave the term. Like in last lecture we have discussed this taxonomy is a science that deals with characterization, identification, nomenclature and classification of living organism. So who gave this term? Who gave this term? Taxonomy. This term is given by term, again important for NEET. This term is given by the scientist named D. Candolle. Alright. So what are the basics of taxonomy? That is characterization of organism, that is identification, and that deals with nomenclature, and that again with classification. Alright, so sometimes these important basic of taxonomy generally are. So taxonomy is a branch of science that deals with characterization, identification, nomenclature and classification of organisms, and with the help of different taxonomic aids, the study of you can say living organism or the classification of living organism is possible. We will also do the taxonomical aids in our next lecture. So today this taxonomy is basically made up of two terms, taxis and nomi. These both are Greek words, and this taxis means classification. These are Greek word, that taxis means classification, nomi means law. Means if we are following some laws, following some rules, while classification of organism, that is called taxonomy. Alright student, so you have to do the topic taxonomy, and in next lecture we will discuss this taxonomic aids also. So now after taxonomy, we are coming to two important terms that will be frequently, you can say, discussed in the chapter. So for you are going to discuss that terms, that is ontogeny and phylogeny. Alright, what is ontogeny, what is phylogeny? These terms with repetitively used in different chapters. So what is ontogeny? This is life history of an organism, and this is evolutionary history of an organism. Alright students, now we are explaining this term with the help of example. What is ontogeny and what is phylogeny? See students, if we see the development mode of, you can say, human embryo, so all the stages through which it have evolutionized. So we will see all the stages, like we will see gills that having present in fish, we will see the tail during development, or you can say different embryonic stage that is present in reptiles. So this gives the proof for evolutionary history of the organism, that we have evolved through these animals. So whenever the development is complete in the you can say 7th, 8th or 9th month, these characters are, you can say, generally disappears. But the earlier stages of embryonic early stages, you can see all the different stages that are present in fishes, that are present in amphibians, like that. Alright students, and this ontogeny is life history, means after the birth of the organism, whatever will be the history of organism, whatever with the, you can say, acquired character of the organism, that may include ontogeny. Alright students, so this is ontogeny and phylogeny, we will repeat again and again. Now again, after taxonomy, there is one important term that is called systematics. This is, as the name suggests, systematic. That means some systematic type of study. Students, first of all, we will like to do, this term is